Good morning. So, I want to talk about when you quit being a victim in your life. When you quit being a victim of your life, then you gain back your life vitality. You gain back your own strength. You become the master of your life. When you are in victim mode, you are blaming things externally for the way that you are. It means that you're not taking responsibility and you're not standing up in your own life. You are giving yourself excuses for being weak in your life, and you're giving external forces power in your life. And so it's basically you're giving away your own power instead of looking inward and finding what power you do have inside to take your own life and move it in the direction that you want. When you are in victim mode, then you are saying that my life happiness, my life vitality, my achievements are dependent on outside circumstances that are outside of me, things that I have no control over. And then you are handing over your life control. It's like saying, I'm less than. Because when you are in a victim mode, you are not looking for your own unique talents and your own unique strengths, and you're not in the power seat of your own life. And being in victim mode is also going inward and shying away from life, because you can't be a victim and be a creator at the same time. They don't go together. If you are being a victim, then you are being a victim. You are saying there are reasons why my life isn't working out. There are reasons why I'm not taking whatever area it is in your life. There are reasons why this is not going forward. And then you're just saying, okay, but I'm a victim. I can't change it. I have no power in this situation, when in fact you always have the power in your life. And if you are in a place where you're feeling victimized, then maybe you're in the wrong place. Maybe you're trying to attach onto somebody else's power, or some kind of other power that is external from you, and trying to make that your life instead of making your own unique capabilities, abilities, talents your own life. Because um, when you are in that creative mode, and when you are in your own center, and when you are in a place of power, you don't have time to be a victim. What other people are doing isn't, it has nothing to do with you. And I think that a lot of times when we go through this victim mode, first of all, it teaches us what not. It strengthens us, and it teaches us what is not um, in exact alignment with who we are and what we are. Um, and it also it gives us an out, not to have to stand up, not to have to do the internal work. Because if something outside of us is causing whatever it is, then we have no control over it. So we're like let off the hook. So it's kind of like we let our own selves off the hook instead of doing the work that we need to do, the internal work that we need to do in order to come back to ourselves. When we change it, it's kind of like a shift, and we shift into our own power and into knowing ourselves and into finding ourselves. Then we realize that it's just so much easier to be in that place of power than it is to be in the place of victim. The place of victim hurts. It's painful. We're out of alignment with ourselves. We're out of alignment with the universe. We're out of alignment with whatever is coming through us. And we feel like it's giving us an out. It's giving us a place that we can deter the responsibility. Don't look at me. It's not my fault. I was given these circumstances. When in fact, we were given these circumstances so that we can take these circumstances and work through them and strengthen ourselves and find our own path. So the circumstances are always there to serve us, are always there to reflect ourselves. So what are you going to do with these circumstances? Here's some circumstances. What are you going to do? Are you going to sit in that place of powerlessness, or are you going to take those circumstances and say, okay, well then this must not be the path. Let me take my all of my power back to me and let me find what is. And then you keep on moving through life, tapping at different things. If you can go through an entire life being a complete victim of circumstance, or you can use circumstance to find your own inner power and move your life forward and take responsibility for your life. And it begins to be playful. It begins to be like a game when you understand that there are no emotions in circumstances. The emotions are what you attach to them. The meaning is what you attach to it. In the universe, everything is in movement, everything is in constant shifting, and there are no emotions other than the emotions that are within you that you attach to the different circumstances. So when you remove the emotion, you say, okay, what is actually happening here? And you're able to rise above into that higher plane of existence where you become the spectator, you become the witness to your own life, and you can see the emotions that you have attached to it, but you don't have to get lost in those emotions, and then you get a pure sight of what is going on. You quit being the victim of in your own life, and then you can find your power and push forward and find what is your true nature, and use the circumstances as a stepping stone for the next stage, the next stage, the next stage. So it's a constant sifting, shifting, moving, overcoming, rising. And I think that we do have to go into these victim modes. I mean, it's all part of the divine plan. So you can't understand something until you go through it and actually feel it on your own, in your own being, emotionally. And that's how we get to know ourselves emotionally, and that's how we master the avatar, because the avatar, the body, the emotions are part of the avatar, the thoughts are part of the avatar, and all of that is in this ego, is sitting within the ego. So we are the soul sitting on top of the ego. The ego is our master tool, which encompasses everything that we need for this physical experience that we're going through, this time, matter, space, energy experience that we're going through. And so we're sitting above. And when we can master the avatar, then we are free in this 3D plane to begin to play. We start playing with life. But in order to do that, we have to master our emotions. And in order to master our emotions, first of all, we have to know the complete spectrum of our emotions. That means we have to go through the depths of the pain, the heights of the highs. We have to, and then neutralize them. Understand that that is not who we are. That is part of the life experience. And then once you master them, you can actually sit in those emotions and look at them and realize what they're coming to tell you, realize that they serve you in a way. And so when we are a victim in our lives, we can sit in victim mode for the rest of our lives, and only through the passing, when we pass out of this body, go, oh, look what I did with my life. I spent my life as a victim. Or we can go through it during our life and sit in it so long that it just makes you like, you want some kind of movement in your life. And that's something in this spiritual awakening that happens, that we begin to get those insights. Once we get sparked on that spiritual awakening, we start rising, and it's like glitches. We keep on going back and forth in between the higher self and the human experience. The higher self and the human experience is like tapping. It's like going up a spiral or going down a spiral, either way. And we start beginning to see things more clearly, but you still have to, the places that are still impure, the places that you still have not overcome, you are still, even as we're rising and going through the spiritual awakening. That's why the spiritual awakening is a process and it takes so long, is because as we rise up, there's still impurities. There's still places that get caught. There's still places that get caught on the cravings, and on the opposite of craving, where you're pushing things away, and is you're still getting, even the pushing things away, not wanting things, I don't want that in my existence. That's still not looking at it and saying, okay, why did that come into my existence? What has that come to teach me? Why, if I'm so high and mighty and up on my pedestal, why are those things still showing up in my life? And why am I still feeling like I'm a victim? And so this victim mode is an extraordinary opportunity to do self work, because when you're in victim mode, it's like the worst. It's not taking responsibility. So what is the opposite of victim? Standing up and taking responsibility and being the master of your life. So it's like a perfect opportunity for you to gain power in your life. It is a push-off point. So if you can go down into the victim mode and realize, okay, wait a minute, I'm being a victim here. I'm thinking that outside circumstances have control over me. That means in this place, if it's outside circumstances have control over me, I have no power. I'm powerless. And it's like giving away your power. It's like taking your power and saying, okay, right here, I have no power. I'm just going to be miserable over here. I'm going to cry because I have no power. And when you get into that, you can see the ludicrousy of it. You can see that, wait a minute, screw that. I'm not going to be a victim. Either I'm in the wrong place, either something is coming to teach me something. I have a powerful lesson in this place. What is it? Let me be taught. And sometimes the lesson is just let go. Let go. If you have churned the pot as much as you can and nothing is coming to the surface that you can find, so just leave that pot for a little while and bring your focus back out of it and put it somewhere else where you do have power in your life, so that you can feel that power and grow that power. And believe me, if that is uncooked, it's going to come back. It's going to rise in your life without you having to look for it. It's going to be presented to you in different circumstances. It's going to be presented to you in different people, in different places that we have not done the work. We're always getting caught up in life. They're always coming in, and because they have created a cycle of behaviors of avoidance in this place, because it's a place that causes us pain. So those cycles of behavior, those cycles of avoidance are within us. So whenever we find in life a trigger that will trigger one of these places, this pot's going to come back up, and then we're going to go back into the victim mode, but this time we're going to be less in the victim mode, and we'll have also more information. We have also gained more power because we were putting our focus on things that we do have power, so we already feel more powerful and we're more capable of dealing with whatever this is. And so we can come back to it with a cleaner vision, a different circumstance, a different way of looking at it. We always come back to it stronger, and that is how we go, and we rise into our higher being. And then some kind of circumstance around the world, some kind of in our life, in our world, in our own inner world, our own life, some kind of circumstance is going to make us come right back down. It like sucks your soul. You're back down in the ego. Do more work. And the more that you rise out of your ego and into living your soul life, into living your true self, when you get pulled, it's almost like you're getting sucked back down into the 3D, into your avatar. It becomes more and more and more painful because you're so far further out of it. So those little trips back down into the 3D, into your avatar to do the work, to do more work, it becomes that much more painful because you already know the heights. You already know your own power. And being powerless again already you feel discomfort in it. But as long as we're doing this work, and the more work that we do, the more we become masters of doing the work. We see the patterns and how the things work, and we know how to do the work. We know how to surrender. We know how to say, okay, this is false. What is going on here? So it's the less time we get stuck. So the spiraling goes faster and faster and faster because you get pulled back down. Okay, there's work here to do. You're in the pain. The pain is excruciating, excruciating, excruciating. And the more the pain is excruciating, the quicker you want to do the work and the more you understand that you're out of alignment. And that is how we keep on coming back and spiraling back and doing the work. So come out of being a victim of your life. Quit being a victim of circumstances. Realize that being a victim, first of all, learn how to recognize that victim behavior. Anytime that you're feeling, oh, poor me, oh, look at me. Yeah, a lot of times when we first get on the spiritual journey, we go, or before when we're completely blind, we go into victim stage and we want other people to see what a victim we are. Look at me, look how poor I am. And because that gives us um, um, legitimatizes our victimness. It lets other people say, yeah, you're right. Those are just bad circumstances. You're right. You have the right to be poor and feel sorry for yourself. And that is not helpful for us on our own spiritual path. When you get this far along on your spiritual path, then you don't want other people looking at your victimizing. You're like, you don't want other people looking in your plate at those kinds of things. You understand also that it gives you no power. Anything external from you doesn't give you power. If somebody else legitimatizes your victimhood, then they can prolong. You don't want anybody to look in and give you rights on your victimhood. It's not it's not in sync with who you are. The true friends don't give you those outs. The true friends or the people that are left in your life, because you start removing people from your life the further you go along. And so the people that are left in your life aren't those type of people that will give you those outs. They'll say, okay, really? Okay, let's look at this. Let's really look at this and see what is out of alignment with who you really are, what you need to let go, and where you need to take your power back. And so, victimhood in your life comes to serve a purpose, and it is not something that you need to sit in. It is actually like a launching point for you. It's red lights. You're not taking your power here. Here is an opportunity to rise above that victimhood. Take your power back. Put it in something that makes you feel powerful. Do something. A lot of times we have all of these talents and we feel like it's a given. We feel like, okay, I can do that with, just with the twist of my pinky. I can write a book with the twist. So do that. Do that. A lot of times we overlook the things that come easiest to us, which are the things that give us the feeling of power, the things that naturally flow through us, that we are meant to be in that place, and we just take them for granted and toss them along the side because we're so focused on all the what nots, the victimhood. So take your power. Put your focus on the things that do come easy, because sometimes the things that do come easy are the most obvious things, and that's where you need to be putting your power, because it gives you that feeling that you have the power in your life, and then it spreads throughout your life, and you can adopt that feeling into those other places that you don't feel like you have all of that power. So I'm wishing you guys a wonderful day. I'm going to get my kids up and get them off to school. So if you've been with me till now, thank you. This is also my therapy. This has come from a place of me going into the victimhood and realizing what it is. And I'm still in that. I'm still on this journey and still purifying. So we're rising together in this. Cindy, you guys, so much love. Thank you for being with me.